most welcome to the NILEcast weekly news roundup on WestNile Television, where we give you the highlights of the news bulletins of the week. My name is Aringa Christine. Let's dive straight into the stories that made headlines throughout the week. The local leadership of Arua Central Division, together with the community members of Awindiri Ward, pushed out the contractor representative of the company, believed to be procured by the Ministry of Local Government, to manage the Arua City High Value Addition Facility that has been idle after it was commissioned by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in 2020. The leaders want clear guidelines for the operationalization of the facility and the facility to be officially handed over to the Arua City Authority for further management. Dennis Aringa reports.
The private operator for the multi-billion Arua Value Addition Facility in Arua Central Division, Arua City, procured centrally by Ministry of Local Government, was yesterday Sunday rejected and thrown out of the facility by the angry community members and the local leaders, led by the Central Division Member of Parliament Jackson Atimalibuti. The Member of Parliament went ahead to lock the facility until the issues of the handing over of the facility and award of contract are resolved.
With the town clerk, with my councillors, to lock this place and have the contractor out of here. To have the contractor, the purported illegal contractor, out of here. As we wait for guidelines from the ministry, as we wait for handover of this facility to the city.
Leaders, we are locking this place until we get guidelines
for operationalizing this place, and the place is handed over to the city leadership, and it will be the city leadership to get a contractor. So from now onwards,
the place is locked.
This is the second time Jackson Atimalibuti, the Central Division Member of Parliament, has rejected the handover of the Value Addition Facility. Recently, the Member of Parliament rejected a report about the facility where the local government officials presented a report to the Parliamentary Committee of National Economy that Arua Value Addition Facility has remained non-operational since commissioning in 2020 due to failure by the Urban Council to attract a private operator, and as a result, the ministry took a management decision to centrally procure M&S Samisa Agro Limited, and that the contract was due for signature.
On 10th March this year, a commissioner called Edui, together with some technical officers from the Ministry of Local Government, came to Parliament, meeting the Committee of National Economy. National Economy. I'm not a member of that committee. Because of my relationship with the people, there was this document presented by the ministry officials, this commissioner who is in charge of markets. In this document, the minister lied to the Committee of National Economy that Arua City has failed to get a contractor. So they have gone ahead to get a contractor.
Atima now wants the facility, together with the guidelines the Minister for Local Government promised when he visited Arua, to first be handed over to the City Authority and the bidding be done locally by the City Authority, not centrally.
When guidelines will be ready, handed over to us, the city will use the guidelines to advertise, to run this place effectively for service delivery. We want to promote BDM in this region.
Paul Batanda, the city town clerk, Arua City, who also in attendance, confirmed that he has been able to advise the ministry officials over the matter of the facility that has been contentious.
I think Commissioner Edui, we need to have a smooth operationalization of this facility, because it doesn't augur well when we have some few issues, especially when the leadership and the community, there is a problem. Because whether we want it or not,
it will not happen.
You cannot.
It will not happen.
We cannot put this on the head. So I shared and we agreed. Actually, I sent a message. We we agreed with him. I told him share with all the PS, but what I would think for now, since one, the owner has not seen the contract, but also there are issues they feel as leaders, there is a challenge, we need to get a solution and quickly. So he agreed, he said it's okay, go down, let's see how the contractor can hand over, he will be going back to Kampala until the ministry organizes when they will come and probably do the handover and the rest of the administrative.
Speaking to journalists after he was thrown out of the facility, the representative of the purported contractor says all the due processes were followed, and he calls on the local leaders to be reasonable whenever taking actions.
There is no process that we overlooked. The whole process was made, it was advertised, and we are private contractors. And employing people here locally, it will be done. They are requesting even 70 people. We can even employ 90 people so long as the people are able to operate. And even if I'm just away as the private operator, anyone who will come here will not be councillors, will not be the MP to operate. This must be private operation. It's not a government facility that it's hospital for public. Anyone who will come here will come to make money and operate. Whether the raw material is there in Arua and the employees are there, that is all. And the facility has been locked for 2 years. So when the private operator comes here and you chase him away, do they want it to be locked forever? Let them be reasonable. I'm going out as a private operator. Anyway, I'm going tomorrow. The paperwork will be produced and every evidence will be put on table. I might come back, I might not come back. But what we need as Arua or as Uganda, the facility must be operational. Whether I'm a white man, whether I'm a black man, whether I'm in Uganda, that one does not mean that the facility should be operated by Arua person. Anyway, you have the manpower here, you have the councillors. I wish you well. Let me see how it will progress.
Arua Value Addition Facility was one of the components of 34.9 billion African Development Bank funded Arua Central Market Project. Dennis Oringi, WestNile Television, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. A fatal accident which happened along Jukia Hill Road, 1 kilometer from Nebi Town, Nebi Municipality, has left one person identified as Pamela Achan, 56-year-old resident of Pakwach Town Council, Pakwach District, dead, and several victims, mainly traders from Paida Main Market in Zombo District, critically injured. Around 5 p.m. on Saturday the 5th of August 2023. Alfred Jawok reports.
One person has been confirmed dead and scores critically injured in a fatal accident involving a Fuso lorry registration number UAK 359J along Nebi Paida Highway. The accident, which happened at Jukia Hill, 1 kilometer away from Nebi Town in Nebi Municipality, happened at around 5:30 p.m. on Saturday 5th August this year. The accident left one person identified as Pamela Chan, 56, resident of Kakawoi, a village in Pakwach Town Council, Pakwach District, and several victims, mainly traders from Paida Main Market in Zombo District, critically injured. Meanwhile, the driver of the vehicle, Samuel Openy, 32 years, Langi by tribe, and a resident of Oyam District, said he lost control upon reaching Jukia Hill, and he narrated how the accident happened.
It lose control, so the brakes failed to brake. So from there, I had no way to control the vehicle. So the problem was just the brake.
Lawrence Kabila, 29 years, one of the survivors, said that after realizing the vehicle lost control, he jumped out of the vehicle and broke his left side rib.
Wanene speed bemedere anagami PA sama PA sama motokari foto do nangudo mapia adoke gola ngeta potienda abenu wangu be wela do maforo tumungu mete mupodwa ngati mokuma megude kwa pari tumsawe yeshandu.
Ronald Jangeta, resident of Jukia Hill, where the accident happened, narrated what happened as he witnessed the scenario.
So motukari eni kitema ana nene kode ebe kabino speedi mateka kesha dano moku beri ter moku dere berti speedi pare beru malu level ma weshirengo ma pin moku makana ngarombo korode ma bote wage pe Dong etembuka ikona macha emitoka kata tera se game ka keja dong mutukari lengere dong oringi witienda shell me binu ka kai dong tu pare kona ka temu daika second matu a shell kende ni ai kona malusha ni binu ka kai kinde madong ewo ka kalu vuja kano same kalu vuja dong kai dong me binu yamo etu itu ger etoro gange ku penye zo esiderongo kodo epodo kodo kodani chiki so la mukende maneno marachre so samo gamo binu ka gokode ochako kaneno nyanyu mistre kangoma chobukete podu.
Nebi Resident District Commissioner Robert Abak said the deceased, who is a female adult, died on the spot, while other victims, who included women and children, were taken for treatment at Nebi General Hospital. He added that upon receiving the information about the accident, he dispatched traffic officers to go to the scene of the accident. He advised drivers who use Nebi Gulu Road to be careful since the road has been a death trap for a long time.
We are trying to believe that the occupants were about 10 in number, but now one is dead, one in critical condition, and the doctors are telling me the rest are out of danger, although in pain. So Jukia Hill is not a very, is a place that our drivers who normally come from outside Nebi should be guided on how to maneuver when they are now sloping. When they're sloping, and the driver is saying the brake failed, but I think that one shall be assessed by the technical team. It's very unfortunate, but I thank the Navy community who turned up. There was nothing like stealing their properties, including phones. Everybody turned up to give a helping hand, and that is a blessing that we have with our people of Navy.
Navy police have identified some of the passengers on board as Henry Ogwang, 32 years, resident of Teboke Village, Apache District; Mandaun Scovia, 32 years, resident of Pakwach; Hadija Nagawa, 47 years, resident of Kamdeni, Oyam District; Awachango Daisy, 22 years, resident of Paida, Town Council, Zombo District, among others. For over a decade, Jukia Hill has been a death trap, as this is the second accident within a period of 1 month at the same spot. Efforts to get comments from Nebi Traffic Police Officer Apollo Ocho was futile at the time of filing this story, as he just took over from the former officer in charge traffic, Ninsime Rogers, who was transferred to Moroto as regional traffic officer. Fatal accident which occurred last evening at around 5 p.m. One person has been confirmed dead, while several others are critically injured and they are admitted at Nebi General Hospital. However, according to the residents, they say what caused the accident, the propeller shafter broke down and the vehicle was running at a terrible speed. This is what I can confirm from Jukia Hill. Alfred Jawok, WestNile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, Nebi Anglican Diocese Bishop Right Reverend Pons Ozella, together with the Centenary Bank Nebi branch, delivered assorted food items to prisoners in Kochi Government Prison during his pastoral visit to the inmates on the 6th of August 2023. Right Reverend Pons Ozella Anwinjo, in his sermon during the visit, encouraged the inmates to be strong amid its challenges they are going through, and urged them to be faithful and reflect on the love of God in their lives despite being in strict rules in a protected environment. Alfred Jawok reports.
There was jubilation and joy among prisoners at Koch Government Prison after the Bishop of Nebi Anglican Diocese, together with the staff from Centenary Bank Nebi branch, delivered assorted food items during his pastoral visit to the inmates on Sunday. Right Reverend Pons Ozella Winjo, in his sermon during the visit, encouraged the inmates to be strong amidst challenges they are going through in the prison. He urged them to be faithful and reflect the love of God in their lives, despite being under strict rules in a protected environment. The bishop confirmed over 145 inmates into the Christ Family Congregation. He encouraged the inmates to persevere during this time of hardships.
Yes, that small thing may have brought you here, but you may be of God may have brought you here to help somebody in His time. You may not know God has brought you here even to help a family. You don't know that God may have brought you so that He humbles you down to accept Him, and you are confirmed from here, and you walk out a free and a serious Christian. Sometimes outside there we are too busy for God. God is calling you and you say, God, busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. I'm not saying that may be the reason I am asking you. Can you sit down and reflect and say, God, why have you brought me here? A time of introspection, a time of thinking within yourself. Maybe God brought you here so that you'd have another level of life. And I want to tell you that is an assurance.
Sabtao Shaun, one of the newly confirmed Christians, is optimistic that the coming of man of God to them will bring change spiritually. Perry Rogers Mugumba, the assistant branch manager, Centenary Bank, Nebi, noted that the delivery of assorted items to the inmates are part of their corporate responsibilities to help those in need.
It is conditions that make us be where we are, but we are all children of God. Let us use the opportunity we are here to make us better children of God, to make us better citizens, and to make us better people out there. I believe that there is induction undergoing here, there is training, there is nurturing that we go through here. When we come out here, I for once I have seen people have come out of here, out in the world. I confess they are better people than the people out there. Be strong, the day will come, you'll come out, and you'll be a totally changed person.
Meanwhile, Ernest Turiamugendo, the officer in charge, Kosh Government Prison, lauded both the Bishop and Centenary Bank for their kind support given to the inmates. He revealed that not everyone in prison is guilty, but some of them have been accused falsely. The assorted food items delivered to the inmates include posho, beans, sugar, cooking oil, rice, among others, worth 3 million shillings. The bishop and his team were welcomed by a creative dance drama performed by the prisoners to prove their faith in God. Alfred Jawok, WestNile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, Chief Nyasul Achikure was crowned the chief of Ambala Aringa Kingdom by the Council of Elders on Sunday, the 6th of August, 2023. The newly coronated Chief Nyasul Achikure pledged to work together as a team in reviving the institution of the Lubara cultural norms and the Ambala Aringa Kingdom. Let's have more in that story. 9 years after the chieftaincy of Ambala Aringa Kingdom has been sharply contested, it generated divisionism between the factions of Nasur Achikule and Saidi Nasur Okuti, government officials and subjects in the area on the 6th of August 2023 after witnessing the Council of Elders installing Saidi Achikule as their chief. Dragoja Ashraf, a teacher by profession, advised the subjects in the kingdom to embrace formal education and also pledged to start teaching elders in Ambala Aringa Kingdom on how to speak English in order to avoid messing in administrative matters.
Baada ya magora mako ila mi school mwezi pifora idriseva au nuko mati digada elda mati dikichiro adoskar elda mati di nikilu ti ringati niki mundutiku andre elda baba ndiki mundutiku sa ringati beki dosikidina akode leto Ota sukulu ele drabatu ele pigada rama drimba pila lode bani mukutimpa.
Muzamil Ezama, a subject of Ambala Aringa Kingdom, vowed to never disobey the newly crowned chief. He also stated that the people of Aringa Kingdom have finally gotten a leader who can unite them if there is any political disagreement.
I want to appreciate all the members for having taken this decision of giving the leadership, the cultural leadership of Aringa community to Mr. Achikule Naso today. We can never and will never disobey him, nor disagree with him. We shall always respect him and honor his decisions because we lack a credible leadership. At times politically we can disagree. There is no one who can unite us. Today we have got a leadership who can bring us together, regardless of our titles.
The newly coronated Chief Nasur Achikule pledged to work together with the team in reviving the constitution and Lukbara cultural norms in Ambala Aringa Kingdom.
We are here with the reason of peace. We are here with the reason of cultural institutions in this region. The cultural institution in this region was completely dead. But I think from today, of what I heard here from my elders here, the cultural institution in this region is now alive. It's now alive. And this leadership, it is you people who give it to me. But when it comes to the work, I'm going to work with you people. I cannot work alone. I'm going to work with you people. We're going to work as a team to make our cultural institutions in this region work.
The position of chieftaincy in the institution, which was incepted in the 1914, remained vacant until after the death of the first leader, Sultan Fadil Ali Adu the First, who led from 1914 to 1934, then died in 1938. However, efforts by the subjects and the Council of Elders to install Achikule Nasur as a successor on the 18th of January 2014 were watered down due to sheer criticism and resistance from the fractions of Saidi Nasur Okuti, who on the 13th of May 2014 filed a case before the High Court asking the court to stop the installation of Achikule as the chief of Ambala Aringa Kingdom. Osuta Yusuf and Dokumaringa Christine for WestNile Television, Nilecast. And more in our stories. The King of Kelalur Kingdom, His Majesty Philip Rauni Olarkel Ubemu III, has unanimously appointed a new cabinet to work within the next 10 years. Alfred Jawok reports.
The King of Alur Kingdom, His Majesty Philip Rauni Olarkel III, has anonymously appointed new cabinet to work within the next 10 years. During a press conference with journalists this afternoon at Kalatiak, King Olarker said the cabinet ministers will help him coordinate the works of the kingdom. In his announcement, section of incumbent ministers retained their positions. According to King Olarker, the appointment took long as he was consulting other kingdoms for guidance to run the kingdom. In a letter observed by our reporter, over 11 cabinet ministers and directors were appointed by the king. He appealed to the newly appointed kingdom officials to work together with the subjects to promote the cultural value of Alur natives.
In drafting these positions, as Obemo, I tasked my people to make the cabinet as brief and relevant as possible. In the past, we attended to copy, or should I say to use templates for some of these positions. But over the years I've realized that there are only certain areas that affect or greatly affect the people of Nebi, and these are the areas we should concentrate our efforts on. So we have a list of
11 ministers. All, as I said, are headed by Jadipu, or Prime Minister. These ministers, number one, and a very, 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 one of the most important cogs in our system, and I'm happy he's here today, is the Minister for Planning and Finance, Mr. Anewa James Michael. Over the past 4 years has proved very invaluable, not only to this institution, but to Rubin.
The king further stressed that some former cabinet ministers were brought on board due to the tremendous services offered to the kingdom. Meanwhile, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Lawrence Opar Angala, the Prime Minister Lord Kingdom, promised to work with media fraternity to disseminate Kingdom's information to the subjects.
As Prime Minister substantive now, I can speak with authority emanating from the King. And I want to say that we're going to do everything possible to deepen our engagements with our development partners, to deepen engagements with the government of the Republic of Uganda, to deepen engagements with the religious institutions, deepen engagements with our people who are living in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and also deepen our relationship with other cultural institutions in this country through the Uganda Kings and Cultural Leaders Forum, so that we talk as one voice. So we will be collaborating, we will be coordinating, we will also be consulting, so that the dreams of our king can come true in the general framework of what we are doing, especially in this country. Already is our, as you say, the Alura Kingdom is our brand, but the people is our mask. He's already doing a good job. They're cooperating closely with the Uganda as the executive, the president, His Excellency the President himself. We are going to deepen working with the politicians. We're going to deepen working with the development partners all over, here and abroad. And yes. So this cabinet is going to be very, very, very focused. That's why we made it, His Majesty made it a very lean cabinet. Only 11 people, and 8 of those are based here in the kingdom. So that those out there can only coordinate our work.
However, Emilio Odongo Wathum, the newly appointed Minister for General Duties and Secretary to the Cabinet Ministers, lauded the Lord Kingdom for having appointed him to the top positions in the kingdom.
Traditionally, the team shall be sworn in. After the swearing in, there will be the orientation of the new team, so that everybody takes note of their docket and what is required. Because we want this cabinet as the cabinet for the kingdom takeoff. It is true, expectations were so high over the last period, and certain things were not fitting well. This time, the king has looked at a smaller team that has a compatibility in the skills, in their networking levels, and the applicability. So when you look at out of the 11 cabinet members on which I am part of the list, we are a grounded team.
Grace Kushin Freedom, State Minister for Northern Uganda, was also appointed as senior advisor to the King on government affairs. Other cabinet ministers appointed to work with the king include David Onen, Minister for External Affairs, Captain Stephen Chunya-Ai, Minister for Defense and Security, Vincent Okaba, Senior Advisor on Business, Pascal Wapokra, Minister for Land, among others. Alur Kingdom is on high preparations for the 12th coronation anniversary scheduled for 30th October this year at the venue to be communicated later. Alfred Jawok, WestNile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. Aurora Central Division officials unveiled a brand new pickup truck worth 164 million shillings to ease on transportation and improve on service delivery. the Arua Central Division becomes the first to acquire a vehicle using funds locally generated from taxpayers out of the 2 divisions that form Arua City. Farish Majid reports.
Arua Central Division, through the aid of funds from the taxpayers, yesterday unveiled a brand new pickup worth 164 million to help improve on service delivery within the area. The vehicle was officially displayed before the masses in a colorful function that was attended by the leaders, the masses and the clergy, among others, yesterday at the division head offices in Arua City. Drakuma Malik, the town clerk, Central Division, appealed to the taxpayers to continue fulfilling their tax obligations as their money will be put into proper use.
The blessings should also be given to one of the key stakeholders, and the key stakeholders are the taxpayers. This vehicle was procured through local revenue. In fact, we are trying to now tell the taxpayers, when I'm talking about taxpayers, also partly we are there, the local sales tax, then mostly of course the trading lances and so forth. So all the time we are being challenged. We are paying the taxes, we are not seeing the impact. My colleague taxpayers, you have started seeing the impact. Said earlier, this is still a small one. That means continue paying, continue giving us the tax.
Paul Batanda, the Arua City Town Clerk, lauded the Central Division Administration for the achievement as he urges those who attended to mind of legacy.
And I thank the political leadership of Central Division for planning to have transport. Transport is very important. And I want to say that in Lugbara there is an animal called a tiriko. I think we know a tiriko. A tiriko is a small animal. When it is moving, it leaves a path or it leaves a stretch behind. In this world, whatever we do, let us leave a mark behind like a tiriko. It moves slowly, it is not aggressive, it doesn't eat other animals, but it survives, but it leaves a mark.
Meanwhile, Mzaid Kemis, the Mayor Central Division, called for forgiveness, where he and the town clerk, Paul Batanda, were accused of embezzling the funds for purchasing the vehicle.
I want to take this day a special day of forgiveness. I want to address it as a day of forgiveness. I want to forgive in this function the people who wronged me, who wronged the town clerk, and who wronged the CFO, who tarnished my image on the papers when we were in the process of procuring the vehicle. And I think today the Satan is ashamed here. My names went on the paper that we ate this money, but Almighty God does not forget. And as the people who read the Bible says that the truth shall set us free, today the truth has set us here.
Hashim, the Secretary for Social Services to the Central Division, called for proper training of the drivers who will be handed the vehicle.
Town Clerk, Arua City, we had a plan of giving capacity building, and let me hope as we are giving the capacity, building the capacity, the drivers who are going to manage these very expensive vehicles should also be given capacity building, because the people they drive are very important people in this country. We need their lives.
The vehicle is expected to improve on service delivery, where it's going to ease the movement of the officers of the different departments. Farish Majid, WestNile Tv Nilcast.
And more in our stories, Irepi community members have offered a 2-hectare land in Irepi East Village, Mwetu Sub-County in Moyo District for the construction of Edui Primary School. In a meeting that was organized by the Secretary for Social Services and Education in Moyo District Local Government, Chandia Rosemary, who is a family member that has offered the land for the construction of the school, stated that the reason why they offered the land is to bring development in the area. Okumu Dominic reports.
The community members offered the land that is measuring close to 2 acres in Erepi East Village, Airo Paris, Meto Sub-County in Moyo District for the construction of Edui Primary School in a general meeting held at the compound of the school. The meeting that was organized by the Secretary for Social Services and Education in Moyo District Local Government brought in close to 1,000 community members. Mrs. Chandia Rosemary, who is a member of the family that has offered the land for the construction of the school, said the reason why they offered the land is to bring development in the area.
So the reason we give the land for the school is to develop the area, because our children are being suffering by covering long distance going for school, and our elder people are suffering spiritually going for the prayer up to Meto Mission is too far from them. Leaving that many people forgot about God. So by now, through our effort of offering the land, it brings community to attend to this, both for school and spiritual for prayers.
Mr. Jurugo Charles Tiangwa, the local council 2 chairperson of Airo Paris, said his community and the teachers will feel happy since the conflict on the land has already been resolved.
After the meeting of today, I think my community will feel happy, because when we are from exile, up to date, up to 2023, we have no institution in our parish. So this meeting now proceed us to feel happy, because my secondly, thank God the elders of Erepi that has offered us this land. Then thirdly, we go for Meto Local Council 3. They have supported us to call the Office of Secretary of Education, Moyo District, to come and solve this problem. So my community really will feel happy, and my teachers who are in this school will feel happy. Even my kids, those who are in my school here, will really feel happy, because they've heard that this complainer said he's going to stop this school. But immediately, the effect of the meeting, really, I think from tomorrow, every person will be happy. So this meeting has called for a good time. So I request the Office of District Secretary for Education should not sleep. Let him take this message to the high authority.
Mrs. Kenya Faith, the head teacher of Edui Primary School, said she is very happy since the school has already been offered the land, so they will continue with their normal duties as the teachers in the school.
I'm just very happy today for today's meeting. They have already declared for us, they have already given us the land, so we are very happy for that. So we are going to continue with our normal learning and teaching.
Honorable Asosi J.B. Sam, the district councillor representing Meto Sub-County to the district, appealed to the community members to offer land for development, saying without land they cannot develop.
Appeal to people to give land for development. Without land we cannot develop our lands. Please, those who are nearby, you offer land, because it is called Ministry of Education and Sports. We need a space for football, we need space for other things, we need a space for teachers' house. Much as this, we have church here, we also need to have other areas mapped for a different thing.
Honorable Anyanzo Terry Silton, the Secretary for Education, Moyo District Local Government, who was also the chairperson of the meeting, said Edui Primary School has been one of the schools in their mind whose name is to be submitted to the Ministry of Education and Sports, and is confident that they will succeed and the school will be coded.
That after that will be now the office of COW, Council of Education, will fill happy, because they will feel happy. They will feel happy, and my community will feel happy.
to write permission letter on behalf of the Ministry of Education to permit the school to function temporarily, so that we shall be able to submit it for calling. Edui has been one of the schools in our mind which must be called by the Ministry of Education. And the Ministry is ready to call the school, awaiting for all the processes that we are going to begin. And I'm sure, quite confident that we shall succeed.
Edui Primary School was started temporarily in early 2000 by the community members of Erepi East Village, Airo Paris, Metu Sub-County, to reduce the burden of children trekking for over 5 kilometers in order to access education, which led to majority of the children dropping out of school. By then, the school was in a very sorry state, but in the year 2014, Honorable Tomaza, the Member of Parliament for West Moyo County, then decided to upgrade the classrooms. Though still not completed, is currently housing over 400 pupils who are learning in the school. I'm Dominic Antonio Kumu from Meto Sub-County, Moyo District.
And more in our stories. Gulu Regional Cancer Institute, a Karokal cell in Gulu City, is now operational. This comes due to the high demand of cancer care and treatment in northern Uganda. According to the officials working at the center, about 36 people have already benefited from the center. Stephen Okello from Gulu reports.
With few medical workers who were brought to install and check the machines at Gulu Regional Cancer Institute, the facility has started providing services to the populations before the completion of constructions and installation of the work.
We have all the equipment, all it takes to make us help you find out whether you have cancer or not. This ranges from the ultrasound scan, the CT scans, the mammo. The mammo are new things that checks or scan for the breast for women. Mammo is not for men. So all these facilities are now operational. And we are so happy to have a very dedicated doctors and nurses who are on the ground.
Beatrice Aluorota started experiencing painful swelling around her neck in June 2022 before she was informed that she has cancer from St. Mary's Hospital, Lecho. Beatrice shared with WestNile Television how she discovered the existence of such a facility in the region. The statistic from Uganda Cancer Institute put the prevalence in Uganda at 32,000 per every 100,000 people in Uganda, and the mortality rate is at 80%.
This patient needs to be started on cancer treatment, and before starting her on cancer treatment, we need to prepare her. The preparation involves taking off blood, doing diagnostic investigation to know the stage of her disease and also to know her health status.
Many cancer patients died because majority of them are from rural area where access to medical services is limited, and Gulu Regional Cancer Institute is expected to bridge this gap.
Most of our patients are in the countryside, and in most cases there are certain barriers that prevent them from accessing care. The biggest barrier is actually access to medical facilities, and this is when we are talking about cancer, because we want to have one center where everyone has to go.
John Ochete, a local council one of Korokal, cell in Gulu City, appreciated government for bringing the cancer treatment and care services closer to the population in Acholi and Lango sub-region.
Formerly, it was not easy to access this sort of treatment. Very many people here suffered and they died here without getting access. discharge facility. So now that it has come closer, they are very happy about it.
To ascertain the progress of work at Gulu Regional Cancer Institute, Dr. William Bazeyo, the Chairman Board of Director, Uganda Cancer Institute, led a delegation to the institute, and the team was impressed with what they have found on the ground.
We are satisfied with what we have found. The work that has been done is quality. It is funded by the government of Austria and the Uganda government. So we are impressed with the work that has been done, and we are thankful to the government of Uganda, thankful to our partners, Austria government. They have given us quality equipment. Some of the equipment that is here is not even in UCI, in the Cancer Institute in Kampala. Some of the equipment is higher specs than we have in Kampala, but we are grateful that it is going to serve Ugandans.
Uganda Cancer Institute has put in place the plan to set up regional cancer institute at all regions in Uganda, and this will include West Nile sub-region. Stephen Okello for West Nile Television, Nilecast.
And more in our story, Zombo district leaders have singled out 3 midwives as major medics who mistreat expectant mothers during the labor ward, adding that they beat mothers and even order them to deliver on the floor. This development follows a persistent outcry from residents who get services from the only government facility which serves at least 40,000 populations of Paida Town Council, respectively. Alfred Jawok reports.
3 midwives in Paidel Center 3 Zombo district have been accused of making expectant mothers delivered on the floor during an emergency crisis meeting held on Monday 7th August this year at the health facility. Zombo district leaders singled out 3 midwives as the major medics who mistreat expectant mothers, adding that they beat the mothers and even order them to deliver on the floor. This development follows persistent outcry from the residents who get services from this only government facility, which serves at least 40,000 populations of Paida Town Council and the neighboring sub-counties of Paida, Abanga, and Nyapeya, respectively. Meanwhile, Jane Draru, focal person in charge of maternity ward Paidel Center 3, refuted the claim and blamed political leaders for witch-hunting them while executing their duties.
Through him, why don't these politicians, I think from today, they should select all the best midwives they want to come and work here. For us, our papers, we are supposed to work anywhere, whether in Congo, whether in Teruru, whether in Amonyo, where we are to serve people. Did you gather us here to come only to do bad things? Is there no any small good thing that we do that these politicians, when they come, they should first appreciate us, then they will talk of those big, the worst ones. They should first come and appreciate us.
The community members who attended the meeting also blamed the facility having an functional admission ward and failure to operate the facility during night hours. Christopher Princess, the youth female councillor in the district, expressed disappointment and warned the midwives to desist from being arrogant to the patients. Christopher recounted the bounty pay increment for the scientists, which included the health workers, and urged them to deliver to the required standard of the Minister of Health.
We have been hearing complaints within the community that the mothers, expectant mothers, are not being treated well by the midwives. So on Monday, we convened a stakeholder meeting to discuss the matter. And also we did some little research. We did research, we went there, we found what people are complaining about is really there. One of them is there is no admission at night, and mothers can expect at any time, and even people can fall sick at any time. There's no timetable for sickness, they don't admit at night. We have cases where people have been given birth in now clinics. People have complications. People, even to some extent, these nurses just refuse. They just adamantly refuse for no reason to serve the mothers. So we felt a little concerned, and we feel like that is really unexpected of them.
Bolingo Francis, the councillor for Toma Sub-County who doubled as Committee of the Social Services, said they will discuss performance of the medics in the council, and those with the poor performance and poor attitude will be fired by the council.
Today I'm very happy of the convener of this meeting. I wanted to mention only one thing about the meeting. I'm not so happy about the nurses' performance attendance to the patient in Paida Health Center. At the RDC, you are here, Secretary Social Service, the Mayor Paida Town Council, you are here. The nurses who are non-performing, we are going to retire them in public interest.
One of the expectant mothers who preferred anonymity asserted that on the 1st June this year, one of the midwives on duty blocked one of the mothers from accessing the labor ward. Innocent Onega Godfrey, the Paida Town Council chairperson, revealed that political leaders and their family members have shunned the facility for fear of their life, saying most of the nurses accusing politicians for witch-hunting them, and that the relationship with the government medics have deteriorated.
This complaint is real and it is true. Some time back we arrested some assorted items being taken to Arua, and these people say we are witch-hunting them, and the evidence is there. The person testified, police were aware, cases investigated with a clear evidence. So they say we are witch-hunting them. I am not interested to be a medical doctor. I don't qualify. I did not study for that. So I'm not witch-hunting them. I'm doing my normal duty. My role is to oversee and monitor all institutions. I repeat, all institutions in Paida Town Council. It is my duty to monitor. Much as we value your work as medics, but my intention is not to witch-hunt, and our intention is not to become one, because we studied different professions. So please, do your duties or you quit.
Tom Rodi, Secretary of Social Services, Zombo District Local Government, ordered for immediate opening of the admission ward, open night hours shift, weekends, and caution medics to stick to their professional ethics.
Some of the staff members are so arrogant that they cannot render any good services to the people, especially in the maternity wing. The in charge of the place is rarely found in the center, which implies that management is very poor. There is no proper supervision in the place.
Alfred Jawok, WestNile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, Nebi Municipality Member of Parliament Hashim Suleiman has delivered over 19,000 handholds to farmers who missed in the previous handholds distribution from the government of Uganda in 2019. The Member of Parliament has appealed to the beneficiaries to use the handholds productively to elevate them from poverty as they practice commercial agriculture. Let's have more on that story.
WestNile Rural Electrification Company Limited,
Nebi Municipality Member of Parliament Hashim Suleiman has delivered over 19,675 hose to farmers who missed the previous hose distribution from the government in 2019. During the delivery of the hose this morning at his office in Nebi Municipality, the legislator noted that some of the households in his municipality missed government hose, which prompted him to use his own resources to procure the items to help the farmers on the onset of rain. He appealed to the beneficiaries to use the hose productively to elevate them from poverty as they practice commercial agriculture, among others.
We have already picked the households, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then there are some households which are single, are all included. It's around 19,000 now. The hose is really for production so that people can get food and get money for other things. But again, I want to reiterate that after the hose, we are going to bring pangas. After distributing this hose, we are going to bring pangas. And I want to assure you, I'm going to bring the balance.
Meanwhile, Godwin Opeo, chairperson production Nebi municipality, said the hose came at the time some members of the public were doubting the efforts of government to help farmers through provision of agricultural inputs like hose and other rudimentary tools.
Yeah, I'm so glad by what we've seen today, what we have witnessed, and this is what we have been waiting for quite a lot of time, because the area member of parliament has he kept on promising people, I'm bringing the hose that people have been complaining. We would easily tell seasons are coming in, seasons are going, the hose are nowhere to be seen. But today I was so much surprised when I received a call from his office inviting me to come and witness, being the chairperson of production of Nebi municipality, that the hose that people have been waiting for have finally come. I'm so glad, and I believe it will first of all stop all the wrong talks that have been going around by people, and secondly, I think it will also change the talks by the people. The distribution of hose, as he said, today he only did the deliveries, then they're yet reconciling the programs of distribution. And I think once these hoses are distributed to the people, it will change the norms. Because others, our people are also lazy, and they kept on blaming it on the MP because he kept promising the hoses are coming and they're not coming. So I think this is the time that we should say no to laziness and the cultivation works proceeds.
In the meantime, Pascal Ashaye, one of the beneficiaries, expressed her concerns that much as they will receive the hose, there is need for tractors to be given to group of farmers in the municipality.
Pifur, Shamia Wiamwa, and Joe Lambe Pacotu Pe, Kawon Quere Jukelua, many of Code Be, Kunuabiti Mangoya, and Nayungo, Lamaka Wish. Chalo MP Mamwa area MP Nebi municipality. Always a Konwa Kulambe Paquer, Kulambe Matung. Anzilo nelembe pakwer. This is the second time mempo kwakwer. Do wange ungo kuche ngurienye kwer mwaini wabiti mkudango ange ungo. Do manzilo ne wabe yuago municipality chalo kawoni mende wechi lembe pa tractor. Eke luwa do next time do tractor. Wame tu tractor kana mpini municipal ariyo.
Nebi municipality has a total of over 24,458 households, according to the recent population census carried out by the municipality officials. There is a hope that if the hoses are properly used, food production in the municipality will be achieved. Alfred Jawok, WestNile TV, Nilecast.
With that, we have come to the end of the Nilecast on WestNile Television. Thank you for being with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast, only on WestNile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name is Aringa Christine. Have a good day.